Welcome back to Better Than Before. This is Tony Richards, and we're very honored to have a special guest today that's going to teach us some meditation techniques. It's Phyllis Nunn, who's a specialist in therapeutic relaxation. She's a business consultant, strategic administrator, and energy massage therapist. She's got over 25 years experience and integrity in multiple public service disciplines. She's coached hundreds of clients in somatic awareness designed to address physical and mental patterns from within versus conscious thought. And she's currently developing somatic meditation protocols rooted in somatic inquiry to help clients identify and repattern the automatic stress response to external cues. She's been an executive in a vice president's role as well as an entrepreneurial coach, and now she's the sole proprietor of Serene Valley Massage. Phyllis, first of all, thanks so much for doing this today.
Thank you, Tony, for inviting me. I'm so honored.
So I work with a lot of executives, and from time to time, we've talked about meditation as a technique to relieve stress and things like that. And you're here today to teach us about that. Now, you're an expert in somatic meditation. So can you tell our audience a little bit more about what that is?
Yes, somatic in terms of being soma. Soma means the body. So by addressing meditation from the body's awareness first, versus verbally trying to change an action or a pattern, the body is what is really attuned to the central nervous system and the parasympathetic system. So if we're in a state of constant fight or flight and we're unable to delve over into the parasympathetic system, which is the calming effect of the body, oftentimes where the heat of a stress response, there's no way that we can say, all right, I'm calm, I'm this, I'm that. And the body has not adjusted. It just becomes empty words, like a clanging gong. And after a while, nobody hears it. And your body, your sensory awareness, it doesn't hear it either. So by entering the body, and the only way that we can enter the body through the soma for relaxation is through breathing. And when I say breathing, I don't want to say take a deep breath, because that's all relative. If one person's deep breath is different from another, which it is, because everybody breathes from a different place in their body. But I'll show you an exercise to force you to bring in air without saying breathing, and then to release. It sets the vagal tone, which is an internal biological process.
So I've had clients where they were in a high stress state where the pressure was really intense, and it just seemed like they were constantly out of breath. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yes, it is. And you can be out of breath because you don't know how to breathe. Your body doesn't know how to breathe. It doesn't start with words. It starts with awareness of the body and paying attention versus intention.
Well, I was just going to say, so when you're talking about the body breathing, are you talking about more than just through our nose, or?
Yeah, well, yes, because people do breathe through their nose. They will inhale through their nose and exhale through their mouth. Some inhale through the nostrils and exhale through the nostrils. And some who are stopped up in their sinuses can only inhale and exhale through the mouth. That's why when you say breathe, a lot of people will say, hi, how? Because you take for granted your breathing, because that's a part of your autonomic system. You're going to automatically breathe. You're going to get it in there one of a few ways, just a couple of ways, but you're going to automatically do it. Just like how the heart beats, that's part of the vagal tone. But when you can decrease it by breathing, you can change your heart rate from maybe 70 beats per minute down to 60. It depends on how you address the body and how you're aware, and your sensory organs are aware. It's all about grounding your body.
You know, as I think about it, as you're talking there, I know people who are very picky about the type of water they drink. which is also an essential element we have to have. But they probably aren't even thinking about the quality of the breath they're taking in.
No, because it's automatic, it's a part of our autonomic system.
And it's easy just to keep doing things the way we've always done them, right?
Right. Because that's part of your left brain, talking to your left brain and receiving it. But some people don't. That's why, if you talk to some folks, they'll tell you meditation didn't work for me because they didn't engage the breath. They just they just said a few words, affirmations. When you first asked me to do this podcast, I was researching the traditional forms of meditation that I've had, and I delved into some of the Buddha practices and the Tantra of the breath. But I also study with intelligent movement professionals, and I take a class weekly. We're discovering how to breathe and incorporating that into the physicality of our bodies. And it's all about grounding.
You bet. And at the end of our talk today, I'm going to ask you if you'd like to give people contact info for you, or however you'd like for them to contact you if they have questions or more information or whatever. So, what's our first thing we're going to do?
Well, is everyone sitting down, or can they hear me, or is it just you?
Well, right now in the studio, it's me and producer Bill. And we don't know what people will be doing. And of course, we probably should tell them not to be doing these things if they're driving,
Oh, of
right?
course. Of
So, I
course.
mean, we just have to tell everybody everything. Don't do this when you're driving. So, if you want to put a pause on the podcast right now and wait until you pull off the road, or at a place where you can be sitting down and relaxed to do these exercises, that would probably be optimal. So, you go ahead, Phyllis, and then the responsibility now has been transferred to them.
All righty then. Well, great. What I want you to do is just sit in a comfortable chair, and I just want you to sit. You don't have to do anything. I want you to know that you're in a safe place, that everything is fine, and just to look at your surroundings and how you actually exist in your surroundings. Why are you here? And what do you plan to do in this space? Is it a place where you can go to just calm yourself? Is it a place where you can go to meditate? And how does your body relate to this space? Is it yours? Is it rented? Are you leasing it? Now, I want you to just think about where you are in your seat and your feet. Are your feet flat on the floor? And when you think about your feet, how do they feel? How do your arches feel? Are they relaxed? Are your toes expanding? Can you feel your ankles? Does it feel warbly? Does it feel straight? What is your purpose for sitting this way? And do you normally sit this way? I want you to touch your calves. Did you ever think about how your calves connect to your ankles? And you can just rub them because it's all right. And your knees, are they relaxed? Do you feel that your knees are connected? Your thighs, your inner thighs, are your hands? Are your hands still on your knees? Do you feel that your legs are dropping? as they relax and they drop. And your hands, where are your hands right now? Are they still on your knees? They don't have to be. Just let them swing because they may feel more comfortable that way. I want you to think about your hips. How are you seated in your chair? Do you find yourself swinging? Are your hips moving? And are your hands still on your knees? Do they want to move? Now your stomach. Take your hands, place them on your stomach. I want you to expand your stomach muscles. And as you inhale, expand your stomach and just blow it out. Try to inhale very deeply, like you're pushing your stomach into your spine, and just hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Release. Let's do that again. Let's expand our stomach muscles, just distend it, push it out. Where that diaphragm is contracting and pushing out your stomach muscles. Now push it in. Let it touch your spinal cord. Push it in, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. Did you feel your hips? Were your hips engaged? Are your arms still feeling lighter? What about your elbows and your arms? How are you breathing? Is it inhaling through your mouth? Are you inhaling through your nostrils? How long are you holding the breath? I know for me, my arms feel a little weak, and I'm letting them just hang because I can and because it wants to. My arms want to hang and just be. Not about anybody else except me and myself. How does my lower back feel? We're intentionally bring on awareness and attention to our body. My back wants to move, and if it does, it's okay. Just let it. What about our shoulders? Are they dropping? They feel like moving forward? And what about our neck? And the whole time, expanding our stomachs, taking in that air the best way we can, and then just contracting and pushing it down, and just holding it and pulling in our stomach towards our spinal cord, pulling it, pulling it, pulling it in. Pushing it out. I want you to concentrate on your neck. What What is our neck doing? My neck wants to swing. Yours may just want to hang forward. But as I allow my body to unwind, and the tension I feel is the left side, left lateral side of my neck. Yours could be different. Could be in your feet, could be in your knees, it could be in your hips. And now I'm centered. Where are you right now? We're still in the body, we're still in the safe place. And our mind is connecting with the body in a different kind of way because we're aware of the body and what it wants to do, not what we want to do right now, just what the body wants to do to calm ourselves. And no, there's no wrong or right way to do it because we're strong. We're capable of governing ourselves because we know who we are and our purpose. And as we come to ourselves, and if your eyes were closed, you can open your eyes and know that all is right with the world because we have another day. We have another day to be all we can be, to help others be all they can be, because we know who we are. You have a choice. This is how you anchor and control your life's breath.
Just fantastic. Now, let me ask you something. One, in that technique, you started from the feet and worked up the body to the head. Is that the way that technique would be done every time?
I would prefer it be done this way, but for your executives, if they even have a few moments to center themselves as they're standing, because you are always in control of your body, you can just take maybe 5 minutes to breathe. Intentionally force yourself to breathe, starting with your hands and your diaphragm, and not just saying, I'm going to breathe. Tell your body to intentionally expand. See the change in the phrasing. The body will address its physicality and how the physique actually performs and expands versus repeating empty words that you wonder why you can't remember. Because if your body hasn't actually embraced it, and also we're talking about the sensory organs and your cognition, the body will pattern itself to your thoughts. And when your thoughts manifest in the body, the subconscious automatically patterns those actions and your bodily movements to that. You get conditioned to it. It's just what I always do. Well, how do you undo? Subconsciously. You have to do it subconsciously.
Do most people have some kind of low to mid-level pain that they're going to feel or experience during that particular technique?
Yes, everyone that I practice this form of meditation, like for me, I knew I had tightness in my neck. That was the barrier. That was the contraction. and I had to release it. But I focused my intention on my neck and let my neck unwind and go where it wanted to go, not where I wanted to go. It's where my neck wanted to go. Right now, my neck feels a lot better. Yesterday, it could be with your feet. Yesterday, with another associate, I did this with her, and she found the pain in the back of her ear because she was having um, TMJ problems. She thought it was gone, but she found more pain. So even with when you think about your feet being grounded and you're actually focusing your awareness and intention to that area, you might find that my arch hurts. My left arch is dropping. My right arch is raised. My big toe is throbbing. But if you don't think about the body in terms of a piece of beautiful equipment that was uniquely crafted by our creator, there's no way you're going to get in tune with it because you never thought about it. You just take it for granted. And most people who come to me, they say, I didn't know that hurt until you found it.
So in our busy, mobile, on the go society, we're just going from thing to thing, and we're just going faster and faster all the time. And it may occur to us that, oh, my big toe hurts a little. Oh well, it'll stop, and we just keep going, and it doesn't stop, right? Until we do something like this.
Right. Until you bring awareness. And I would practice this every day. And a good time to practice it is when you get up in the morning and add it to your list of things to do. Because we only have 1,440 minutes in a day to do what we need to do to accomplish a task, to delegate work, surround yourself with people who know your mission and your agenda. And also, it's very important to surround yourself with like minded individuals who share your passion for your mission, your corporate goals, your work ethic, how you work, and your morals. Because you don't want to live in a state of fright, of panic, fight or flight every day because it will affect your body calming down because it will automatically stay in that mode of operation because you can compare the body to a system of operation in a corporation. If there is a plug anywhere, you're going to go to root cause. You've got to change that cog. If the widgets are not being produced the same way succinctly on an assembly line day in, day out, and then so all of a sudden there's a bottleneck, you've got to go to that bottleneck to clear it so everything is running according to the plan.
So let me ask you a question. So which would be more effective, as soon as I hop out of bed in the morning, or right before I go to bed at night?
I would do it in the morning because you know what you have to face. You know what you're facing. It's so you need to be aware of your body so you can handle the challenges to come.
Well, I think superior high performers have a programmed morning routine that they do every single day. And it's some kind of exercise, it's some kind of reading, it's some kind of thing like this, a centering technique or meditation of some sort. I think your morning routine is probably the most important key to being a consistent high performer because it sets the mechanism for the whole day, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it's definitely. That's why I think morning is the best. It will set the tone. It will get you grounded. It will help you identify mentally. We're talking then to the conscious mind. We work on the subconscious first. Then that allows the conscious mind to delegate and figure out what it is we need to do during that day and assign activities and tasks, action steps to our day and keep that notebook nearby. It might be a pad on your phone or your iPad. It can be any of those things. just make sure you're keeping notes of your life, because if you don't track it, it will track itself and create another life for itself that you can't control. And you don't want to get it too far out of alignment with your agenda, with your mission and your task at hand. But you have to consider, and I'll leave you with this. I know I'm out of time. Think about the runner and who has had a heart attack, and people say he was in the greatest of health. He ran every day, he ate well, and I just don't understand. And they're in their 30s or 40s. But the one thing they did not pay attention to were the sensory cues in their body telling them something's wrong. They didn't take time out to listen to their body yelling, I'm in trouble. Please balance me. Something's wrong with me. Nothing happens overnight. A heart attack doesn't happen overnight. Just like with a vagal tone, which is an internal biological process that affects the 10th nerve in your brain, which the vagus nerve. That's one of the cranial nerves. And I work on those 12 nerves with cranial sacral therapy in the cranial sacral system. It's very important to reduce, because that works directly with the parasympathetic system. If your pace, your heartbeat is going at 70 beats a minute, maybe more, we're talking about stroke, we're talking about heart attack, we're talking about a lot of medical conditions and disorders that could have been prevented if we just listened to our bodies.
So let me ask you one more question about the technique, and then I've got some rapid fire questions I want to ask you real quick as we wrap up here. But do you ever encounter, and I think the answer to this is going to be yes, but I'm interested in your thoughts. You ever encounter something pretty stubborn, like you locate the pain, you locate the stiffness, you locate the source of the body misfunction, and you are trying to get it to heal itself, and you're trying to talk to it, but it's just being stubborn. It's resisting you. What do you do at that point?
Then in cranial sacral, we actually give intention to that area. And I do that by using my energy to tune in with your energy to find out the direction of the blockages. And oftentimes it is, once again, in the conscious mind, because sometimes we're stubborn. If we're aware of the pain and we know the pain, not that we like the pain, but we're comfortable with the pain. So how, if we're expected to change, what would I expect to find on the other side of the pain? More pain, less pain? Well, I can deal with this right now. And when you deal with it, when one spot, in terms of biosyntegrity, which is body once again, it may appear in one place but show up in another. That's why I like to do a total body. But if by addressing it and talking to it and allowing the body to become aware of it, we address it differently than just going right in. Because even when I work on the hips, I work on the feet and vice versa. I may have to clear the hips before I can clear the feet.
We've been visiting with Phyllis Nunn, who's a very special person. She's a specialist in therapeutic relaxation. She does massage and all these wonderful things. We just explored one wonderful thing she does. Now, Phyllis, if somebody wants to ask you more questions or talk to you, what's the best way for them to find out more about you or maybe contact you?
Well, they can call me, and my number is 270-519-3514. They can go to my website at serenevalleymassage.com or look me up on Facebook. I'm under Phyllis Nunn, LMT, which is licensed massage therapist. And I'm also on Facebook under Serene Valley Massage.
That's wonderful. So, Phyllis, listen, thanks again for doing this. If you'd come on from time to time, I'd like to bring you on every now and then and have you talk to our audience about other things they can do that would make their life richer and more awesome. How would that be?
That would be great. Thank you so much, Tony. I look forward to the next one.
Receive weekly coaching tips from Tony Richards, delivered straight to your inbox. Whether you're a CEO or an entrepreneur, Tony can help you reach your goals and give you a competitive edge within your industry. Tony's Monday Morning Coaching Memo covers topics ranging from leadership development to teamwork to company culture and more. Text the word leadership to 38470 to sign up for Tony's Monday Morning Coaching Memo, or sign up online at clearvisiondevelopment.com.